Hey buddy, wait, do you even realize what you did this morning? Like no joke, something shifted and you didn't even feel it. You just got up, breathed, moved, maybe scrolled your phone. But somewhere in the unseen, your choice hit different. Oh yeah, you did something small, something silent, but someone saw it. And guess what? It made him smile. Not because you were perfect, but because for the first time you controlled the chaos instead of feeding it. Crazy, right? You, the one who thought today was just another day, actually changed the rhythm of your story. The way you resisted that impulse, the way you paused before reacting, that moment rewrote reality. And that's why you're here watching this, because deep down you felt it too. That tiny decision, that quiet power, it's echoing now. Oh, and before we start, a tribute to you. Yeah, you, the ones who fight silent battles every morning and never brag about it. The ones who build their strength in private. The ones who watch, listen, reflect, and still rise even when no one claps. You're the real ones. You're the reason voices like mine exist, to remind you that your quiet power matters. It started the moment you opened your eyes, but you didn't even notice it. That's the funny part, isn't it? Every morning feels the same. Alarm, screen, routine, repeat. You call it life, but what if I told you that this morning something shifted? Not in the world, in you. You did something small. So small your mind dismissed it like a flicker in a broken bulb. But someone noticed. Someone smiled. And no, not out of kindness, out of recognition. Oh wow. You thought no one saw that quiet decision you made, the one that no one clapped for, no one thanked you for, the one that hurt because it meant choosing restraint over chaos. But it mattered. It rippled. It whispered through the unseen patterns of consequence, brushing past the edges of lives you'll never meet. Yeah, that tiny act, it lit something. You see, most people think they're invisible until they're in pain. But you proved something this morning without even realizing it. You proved that power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it breathes quietly through self-control. You said no to something that the weaker version of you would have said yes to. You didn't even celebrate it. You just moved on. That's the tragedy and the beauty. Because restraint is the quiet rebellion of the wise. It doesn't scream. It doesn't post. It doesn't ask for applause. It simply watches, waiting for the world to catch up to its reason. And that's what made him smile. That unseen witness of consequence. The one who understands how your smallest decision rewrote an entire chain of outcomes. You have no idea what you prevented, what you protected, or what kind of darkness folded back into itself, because you simply paused. Nah, most won't get it. They think power is in shouting, in winning arguments, in making noise. But the real ones? They know silence is a weapon sharper than words. You woke up today thinking it was just another day. But to someone watching patterns unfold, it was a turning point. You might not see it now, but your stillness carried weight. You realigned something. That calm moment of choice, that breath before reaction, it broke a cycle that was meant to repeat. You refused to be predictable. You refused to be ruled. And that's why he smiled. Huh? He smiled because you didn't even know what you did. Because your strength didn't need a spotlight. Because the world kept spinning, unaware that one quiet human act just tilted its balance a little toward justice. Oh, you thought it was nothing. A shrug, a sigh, a decision you'll forget by noon. But somewhere, the consequences shivered and rearranged themselves. Someone who would have fallen didn't. Someone who would have given up found a reason not to. All because you didn't give in. Power doesn't always come with a crown. Sometimes it comes with calm. And today, your calm changed everything. You didn't just wake up today. You woke something up. And that's the part no one talks about. The war that begins before your feet even touch the floor. It's quiet, unseen, fought in silence. The kind of war that never makes it to headlines but decides everything. The war inside you. The one between the person you were yesterday and the one you could become today. Yeah, most people lose it before breakfast. They lose it the second they scroll, the second they compare, the second they surrender to the noise. But you hesitated. You paused. That moment of awareness, that flicker of resistance, that's what changed the rhythm. Because awareness is dangerous. It's the spark that burns through the ropes that keep the ordinary from breaking free. Oh, wow. You didn't know you were rewriting your own pattern, did you? You thought it was nothing. A breath, a thought, a decision so small it barely mattered. But that's how it always starts. The most powerful transformations begin in silence. A whisper that says, "Not today." A refusal that rewires an entire life. Nah, the world doesn't reward that kind of discipline. It rewards noise, drama, distraction. But there's a kind of person, rare, sharp, untamed, who learns to find power in stillness. And this morning, without applause, without a witness, you became that person. You might not feel it yet, but restraint built your foundation while everyone else was chasing shadows. You didn't fight anyone today. You fought you, the restless, impatient version of you that always wants more, faster, easier. You starved that version with silence, with awareness, with choice. That's what made him smile, not because you were perfect, but because you noticed before you fell. You caught yourself, didn't you? Maybe it was a thought you rejected. Maybe it was a word you didn't speak. Maybe it was an emotion you refused to feed. And in that split second, you declared something massive, that your mind doesn't own you anymore. You do. That's the moment most people miss. They think strength is loud, but true strength? It's invisible. It's the quiet correction, the unseen restraint, the decision no one praises but everything depends on. You see, there's a line that divides those who drift through life and those who steer it. That line isn't drawn with power or wealth or words. It's drawn with control. The ability to stop when your impulses beg you to move. That's the unseen art. That's the battle that defines everything. Oh, and here's the secret. No one tells you. Every time you win that silent war, something shifts around you. Reality bends a little. Consequences rearrange. People sense something different, even if they can't name it. That's the echo of inner power. Not loud, not bright, but deep. Every victory whispers one question. Can you handle the weight of what you just awakened? Because now that awareness has tasted freedom, it won't stop asking for more. The thing you woke up inside yourself this morning, that clarity, that restraint, that quiet command, it's not satisfied with one act. It wants consistency. It wants proof. And that's where most fall apart. They want the reward of strength without the price of discipline. But discipline, that's the spine of power. Without it, everything collapses. Oh wow. You think you can control it once and call it mastery? No. Control is a practice, not a moment. Every morning, it will ask you again, will you choose chaos or control? And every time you choose control, the war inside you evolves. It gets quieter, but heavier. Because each decision strengthens the walls of your will, and the stronger they get, the more resistance you'll feel pressing against them. Yeah, that's the irony. Growth never feels like peace. It feels like pressure. Pressure to rise, to resist, to refine. You'll feel it when no one's watching. That internal pull to do what's easy instead of what's right. And that's when the test begins. Not in the loud moments where everyone can see your strength, but in the silent ones, where no one will ever know. Nah, don't fool yourself. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's cold. It's lonely. It's doing the same right thing every day, even when you're tired, even when you're bored, even when no one claps for you. But that's what separates those who talk about strength from those who become it. You know what made him smile this morning? It wasn't your victory. It was your consistency. The silent repetition of control, the way you refuse to let your impulses dictate your direction. That's the kind of power that reshapes everything around it. Because when a person becomes consistent in truth, the world starts bending to their rhythm. Oh, you didn't notice, did you? You thought the smile was just approval. But no, it was recognition. He saw it. That rare fire of discipline that burns without needing attention. That self-governed order that doesn't wait for motivation. The kind of energy that changes outcomes because it refuses to be ruled by temptation. And that's the secret. Discipline isn't a cage, it's liberation. It's not about denying yourself everything. It's about owning your choices so deeply that nothing owns you. Every time you resist what weakens you, you reclaim a piece of your freedom. That's why restraint feels heavy, because freedom has weight. And now that you've awakened it, you can't go back. Every morning from now on, this silent force inside you will demand something higher, cleaner, sharper. It will test you, not to break you, but to refine you. Every strength you build will one day turn around and test you. You think discipline makes life easier? No, it makes life real. The moment you start gaining control over yourself, the world starts pushing harder. It's like resistance knows it's losing ground and oh, it hates that. That's when the whispers begin. The ones that say, you've done enough, you deserve a break. No one's watching anyway. That's the trap, the calm after victory, where weakness tries to sneak back in, wearing the face of comfort. Oh, wow. You thought your test was over this morning when you won that small battle? Nah, it was just the beginning. Because once you prove strength, it doesn't disappear, it echoes. And those echoes, they call for greater tests, harder choices, quieter sacrifices. You've awakened a standard now, and that standard will haunt you every time you think about falling back. It's strange, isn't it? How self-control feels like peace at first, and then suddenly, like a storm. The moment you think you've mastered yourself, a deeper flaw steps forward. That's how life refines you, layer by layer, temptation by temptation, until every weak corner has to face the mirror. And if you don't face it willingly, it finds ways to face you. Yeah, strength fights back. It questions your comfort. It breaks your patterns. It shakes the lies you tell yourself when you're tired. It doesn't let you settle. That's what makes it rare, because most people stop right there. They call peace what is actually surrender. They call distraction what is actually escape. But you didn't stop. You noticed. You listened. You felt that storm building behind your calm and said, "Let it come." Oh, and when it came, when that temptation whispered again, when that impatience burned again, when that ego rose again, you didn't flinch. You recognized it. You saw it for what it was, the test of consistency. That's why he smiled again, not because you didn't fall, but because you faced it. You confronted the very thing that once ruled you and told it, not anymore. Discipline doesn't end with victory. It evolves into responsibility, and responsibility is heavier than any burden you've known. It asks you to hold the line when everyone else folds. It demands that you become your own reminder when the world forgets what restraint looks like. It makes you carry peace like a shield in the middle of chaos. And you know what's wild? That's when real power begins to show, not in control, but in consistency. Because anyone can be strong once, but to stay strong, that's a whole different war. You've tasted that war now. You've seen how silence tests louder than words. But this isn't the end of your awakening. Because once strength starts fighting back, something even deeper begins to move. When the storm ends, it doesn't leave peace, it leaves transformation. You felt it, didn't you? That strange quiet after the struggle. Not comfort, not calm, but something deeper. Like the world took one breath with you, and suddenly, everything changed. The air feels heavier, sharper. You walk the same streets, speak the same words, but something inside you doesn't move the same anymore. That's growth. Not the kind that screams for attention, the kind that changes the way silence feels around you. Oh wow. You thought discipline was just about control, but now you see it's about alignment. Every choice you made, every time you said no, every moment you resisted the easy path, it didn't just build strength, it built clarity. You started seeing through things that used to fool you, the fake praises, the shallow victories, the noise that everyone else still worships. You saw through it all, and now you can't unsee it. Yeah, that's the cost of awareness. Once you rise, the view changes, and with it comes responsibility. You start realizing that you can't live like you used to. You can't talk the same, react the same, even think the same. The higher you rise in awareness, the heavier each choice becomes, because now you know what it means. You understand the ripples your silence creates, the balance your restraint restores. And that knowledge, it never lets you rest. Nah, it's not punishment. It's precision. You've been refined. Every impulsive layer has been peeled back to reveal something real. The part of you that doesn't bend for comfort, that doesn't move for applause. The part that acts with purpose, even when no one's looking. That's what makes you different now. That's what made him smile. He smiled. Not because you won, but because you became. You turned awareness into action, action into consistency, and consistency into character. You learned that control isn't suppression, it's direction. You don't kill emotion, you master it. You don't erase desire, you guide it. You don't silence chaos, you command it. That's power. The kind no one teaches because it can't be performed. It has to be lived. Oh, and here's the twist. The more disciplined you become, the less you chase. The world starts coming to you differently, slower, clearer, almost cautious, because something about you says, I've seen through the noise. You carry a quiet authority, now not built on arrogance but on awareness. You're no longer reacting to life, you're directing it. And that's the real transformation. Not what changed around you, but what changed within you. You don't crave validation anymore. You crave alignment. You don't chase outcomes. You chase order. And once you taste that kind of balance, there's no going back. So, now you see it, huh? That tiny moment you thought meant nothing. It was everything. The quiet pause, the breath before the storm, the choice no one saw, but he did, and it made him smile. That slow, knowing kind of smile that says, you finally get it. Oh, wow. Yeah, this wasn't luck. It was awareness. The kind that wakes you up from noise and teaches you that control is the rarest rebellion. You didn't win by shouting louder. You won by staying still when chaos begged for a reaction. That's real power. That's real evolution. And you just proved you're not like the rest. So listen, if this hit something inside you, if it cracked open that part of your mind that's been waiting to wake up, then don't just disappear. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you felt. Tell me what you saw in yourself today, because your voice might be the spark someone else needs to start their morning right. And hey, respect to you. Seriously. You stayed till the end when most people tap out halfway. You listened when others scroll past. You faced yourself when most people hide behind filters. That's rare. That's strength. That's you.